Oh. Hi, it's Turok. And I'm doing like another follow-up video of stuff I missed from the last chapter of One Piece. So I missed some stuff in the last chapter, and I wanted to go over a few things here. Today, let's see, I'm using the official chapter now. Come on, load up. So the first thing off the top of my head was I had missed something with, this was a smaller one, so I'll get this out of the way. I should bring this closer somehow. There we go, I should bring that back. There we go, just getting my gloves closer to the mic because I'm always talking too far from it, it seems. So, one big thing I noticed I missed, well, no, I didn't say big thing. This was a little thing. I misunderstood something here that Blackbeard and Law, an exchange between Blackbeard and Law, and that was that, I thought Law had said, wait, come on. Why is this taking so long to load this? 7, 8. This was a weird statement I kind of thought too. This was a weird statement I thought. Blackbeard, this last exchange of conversation between Law and Blackbeard, I thought Law said they all have the same weakness, that's why they're called devil fruits. But it was actually Blackbeard that says afterward, like, yeah, the benefits are worth it. That's how devil fruits work. So yeah, I thought that Law said that that's why they're called devil fruits. And I was going on a speculation a bit why they're called devil fruits, and I don't have any more to add to that at this time. Yeah, so I'm looking at the old translation. I thought that Law said it must be a pretty raw deal having all these anchors around. The anchor term is still in the other, I think, too. And I thought he said they call them devil fruits for a reason. Wait, let me see if I can pull this alongside each other. Split screen. They call them devil fruits for a reason. Yeah, let me see here. Wow, the text has moved around completely different too. But yeah, I thought Law said they call them devil fruits for a reason. But and so I went on a tangent about that with the idea of what it means to be something in my hair again. I saw last week I had a video where there was something in my hair. It was a skin acne cream, and then a little bit of it got stuck up in I think it was this side actually. Excuse me. And anyways, I'm getting totally distracted. 4 minutes in and I'm not getting this across. The Blackbeard and Law's exchange I got wrong. I feel like I'm gonna have to do this a lot if I gotta check the Viz translation more often. So Blackbeard basically is implying he wants to have these devil fruits. It's worth it to him to try and take over the world, even though by having everyone who, probably like all his officers, have devil fruits, it's fine because they're all having these powers. They all have these powers that will give him the edge he believes to win against anyone else he goes up against. Which actually, now I think about it, this is very similar to Big Mom. And I'm surprised, I'm realizing that, actually, all the Kaidos too are like that. That's actually interesting. Now, I just realized, I think pretty much all the Yonko crews, except for Shanks and now Luffy, and now technically Buggy too with his officers. So basically, I've just noticed all the old Yonko crews all have lots of devil fruit users on them as the captains and the officers. So Blackbeard, not Blackbeard. I'm gonna start with Whitebeard. Whitebeard has had a Guru Guru no Mi, and Ace was captured, but he was still he's also a devil fruit user. Marco is a mythical zone. And there's the other guy with the diamond fruit, and there were some others. So a lot of his crew officers had devil fruits there. We have Big Mom. She's got these soul fruit. She's got Cracker, who can make these cracker fruits, cracker things. Katakuri can make is a special paramecia / kind of like a similar to a Logia, and there's I don't know who his third officer was. Her third officer was. I know there's the one with the other ones with the candy. Oh yeah, Parasparrow. There's the one Smoothie, I think. I don't think Pudding though has a fruit. There's an exception there. And then there's Kaido. I'm gonna switch to Kaido now. He's got his is all zone users. So now that I think about it, now Blackbeard, he's given all his main officers fruits. We don't know Lafitte, and there was a couple others. I know one of them. I think it was the swords guy. He's got I think Absalom's fruit now. And so with the exception of Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Blackbeard, they had at least a 90% officers having devil fruits. And now I'm just thinking with Shanks, we don't really know. Shanks may be one of the only crew members, other than Laws too, that doesn't. Oh. So where was I? Now this is cut in because I had a phone call. So yes, Shanks. It looks like Shanks, until we know more, could be like one crew at least that's at the highest tier of the One Piece pirate world that does not have any devil fruits among them, which would be really interesting if so. I think what do we know about Roger now? We didn't know still anything about Roger either. Yeah, I think a lot of people were thinking with Roger back in the day that they were hoping he doesn't have a devil fruit. To show that he's such a badass he doesn't need one. And I'm suspecting a lot of people want that with Shanks. We'll just have to see. So, with Luffy's crew, it's kind of a half and half going on there, I think, right? So, let me go over it. So, Luffy's got a fruit, so the captain's got a fruit again this time. But his first mate, Zoro, does not. And Sanji does not. He's pretty much his second in command. And Jinbae is just a fishman. So his three physically strongest members are not zone users, any kind of devil fruit users. So that's in his advantage. So his zone, we got three? Nico, Chopper, and Brook are devil fruit users. And Nami is not either. So that's a fourth member now of fruit. No, 4. Zoro, yeah, 4. And then, who was I missing? If Yamato joins, that'll be another fruit user. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5, half the crew members with fruits. Oh, yeah, Usopp. So, it looks like right now, if we count, well, that's 11 if we, right? No, is it still 9 right now? Luffy, Zoro, Jinbae, Sanji, Nami, and Frankie. I keep forgetting Frankie. Yeah, already 11. Yeah, so it looks like, I think 5 of 11, if we count Yamato too, that would have devil fruit, and the other 6 do not. So right now it's only half and half, so like 5, Luffy, Brook, Chopper, Nico. That's it, really, right? Yeah. It looks like only 4 of them right now out of 10, I think I got right, have devil fruit. So that's a pretty good ratio there. It's less than half have devil fruit, instead of saying once if Yamato becomes a member as well. So, the Straw Hats are certainly doing better than the other Yonko crews outside of what we know about Shanks, as far as being balancing their crew members with powerful users. So clearly, Blackbeard, and so this is pointing out what Law pointed this out, but clearly the other Yonko crews have done the same thing in the past. Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom have all done this, and I'm wondering if that's what Law's point is, that like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like your crew. I think Tekken was just pointing this out in one of his recent videos too. Like Law looks like he might be on a crew that is he's trying to train the rest of his crew to be an anti-devil fruit combat team of sorts. So this works really well in their favor, I think, with their not motif, but the fact that they I'm just pushing the camera back again. The fact that all the Law heart pirates are trained in using a submarine, and we don't know if any others got devil fruit, really lends to the fact that they could be a crew member that crews himself outside of Law don't have to worry about falling in the water and becoming incapacitated, because they may not, none of them probably have devil fruits. And on top of that, we got the two we saw jump in the water, which, by the way, I should check what their names were. Let me see. Sachi and Penguin, right. So Sachi and Penguin, these other two guys that go in the water, right? Let me make sure. I'm going to check from here. Yeah, Shachi or Sachi? This is Shachi or Sachi. I'll say Sachi for now because it's easier for me to say. We have two members that went right and were ordered to go right into the water without any hesitation. So it's clear here with and the other guy there must be the helmsman then. Yeah, it looks like with Law's crew, he has trained them to become a anti-devil fruit combat force team, and this would be quite that would put him in quite the position to be able to fight any of the other Yonko as well in the future if there's a sea battle. I'm just trying to think now. Did Law ever fight any of the Yonko on sea? I don't think so. Him and Kid had to work together against Big Mom, and so they were on top of Onigashima, floating in the air. So there was no opportunity for him to have this kind of you take advantage of the sea nearby them then. But now this makes me think that Law. Jeez, who's calling me now? Where's I going with this? I'm back. This is probably how Law has put Law in a position over the past few years, or however long. I'm going back, as I know his pirate career is further than the last 2 years. So this is interesting that so Law. This is probably how Law has probably dealt with devil fruit users in the past. He's instead of like stocking up on crew members that have, or recruiting crew members that have devil fruits, as it seems like some others have, or not exactly that way. So like Big Whitebeard basically would have brought in people who had devil fruits, but I don't think he was never on the lookout to do it that way. Big Mom had Kid and then gave him devil fruits, and Kaido did like he recruited crew members, but then I don't think any of them ever had fruits at first. Not Jack or King or Queen. So yeah, I'm just thinking I wonder if other pirate crews usually try to recruit members who have devil fruits onto there. That's probably what Zebek. I bet that is what Zebek did back in the day. He looked for the strongest crew members he could find, particularly with devil fruits. Although Kaido didn't have one. Actually, that's not. But Whitebeard and Big Mom did, and is that it? Maybe he's not quite fitting in this example too. I'm trying to think of a crew that would have had, well, maybe Doflamingo's probably the closest thing. almost all of his crew members seem to have devil fruits. I can't recall all of them, but his is like the one I would think is probably the closest, where everyone brought in had a devil fruit, or no, maybe they just eventually got one too. It definitely, anyway, either way, it's definitely that you got these captains of these various crews who were at some point or another outfit their crew members with a devil fruit to gain advantages in battle against other pirate crews as well as the Marines. And Blackbeard is really taking this to the extreme, more or less. I would say Big Mom took it to the furthest extreme because she's got like 80 kids. And Blackbeard's still got a ways to go if he wants to do that. But he is definitely, in a way, he is recruiting for sure, though, and finding like some of the most terrifying members of the One Piece world to be his head commanders. So, in that regard, comparing him to the other Yonko, Blackbeard's crew is probably overall like the highest officers, anyways, the best of the best right now. Again, we don't know much about Shanks. We can assume right now Shanks is probably on par or possibly better this time, but we don't know. Looking at Blackbeard's crew versus I'm gonna set aside Luffy for now. I'm looking at the previous ones. Looking at Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom. I would say Blackbeard's crew is the strongest officer ranks of all. And that if he went up with his main officers against Big Mom and like say the equal number of officers or crew members she would pick on to be like a 10-on-10 team, I think Blackbeard would win against all of them. As far as his, now this is not saying there wouldn't be losses, by the way. I'm just thinking that Blackbeard's crew members are at this point probably so powerful that Katakuri or King or Queen or Cracker or Marco and Ace and any other high level, I can't think of some of other Whitebeard's officers. They're impressive, but I don't think those guys are really top tier. These other officers are top tier foes. Like, for example, Katakuri. Luffy had to work his ass off to beat Katakuri, but he immediately got one-shotted by Kaido there some weeks after. I think Blackbeard's officers, by and large, could all go toe-to-toe with Kaido and not be defeated easily, and I think Katakuri would have. Let's put it that way. I think the other officers here are the real cream of the crop that he has gathered, and that will. So, anyways, he is really my point of all this was that Blackbeard is certainly trying his hardest to recruit the best guys he could and gals. He's got what's her name? And recruiting these best people that he can get to let's put that up. No, edit it. To the best people he can to win against these other crews, and it definitely feels like something that well, at least Whitebeard and Big Mom did not do in the same way. Whitebeard got these members and they weren't, I don't know if they would be training in the same regard, let's just say. And Big Mom's crew, I know Katakuri does. Maybe we'll see Katakuri again with a power boost. Later on that will elevate him to above this. But, God, where was it going on this? Oh yeah, the devil fruits. Yes. Blackbeard's going out to find, now he's got these multiple members, 9 in all now with Aokiji, if we count him tentatively, because we don't know if he's really working with the Marines secretly or Sword to bring down Blackbeard, but I guess we can set him aside a sec. Looking at these other 8 members that Blackbeard has brought with him. He's definitely gone for. And I guess in some ways you could say that we wouldn't have known if they become top tier. But I'm thinking he really is looking to recruit in a way that only Kaido kind of would have come close to, where he was looking for really potent members. He got Queen and King and a Jack and recruited them. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Jack would be really top tier. Queen and King probably still are close, but I still feel like if they went toe-to-toe with certain members of Blackbeard's, they would have got crushed pretty easily. But basically what I'm saying too with this is that the Straw Hats, as tough as it was for them, the other Straw Hats, even Luffy too, going up against Kaido's crew just now, I still think they have some training or power-ups, you could say, that they need to be able to go toe-to-toe with Blackbeard's crew in the future. Luffy, like for example, too, got lucky in winning against Kaido, because Kaido got beat down pretty badly fighting these scabbards, but fighting his daughter, and the other Law Kid, Zoro, and Killer all helped. These guys all went up against Kaido and helped in weakening him. This transformation is possibly Luffy's last big one. Maybe he'll get some special power up with Haki to elevate him, but I even with this, I'm thinking he needs more training at least to get there. So that's my long and short. My long and short of it is Blackbeard's crew looks like they're top tier after 2.5 years or whatever of training and devil fruit hunting. So that's the other thing now too. I was to get off this tangent. Blackbeard has definitely seems to have some knowledge of. Probably, I'm thinking had certain fruits in mind that he wanted for his crew members once he started recruiting them, and that's also too he probably knew these fruits he thought would be great, and he just had to wait until he got the darkness fruit. So 2.5 years ago or so, when Thatcher had that fruit, the other division commander, Blackbeard knew right there. This is where I can begin my plan I've been setting up for decades. So that point he left out to sea. I'm thinking by the time Thatcher found that fruit, that Blackbeard probably already had Lafitte, Stronger, Daku, Jesus, and Augur waiting in the wings somewhere for him to come and meet them. So he probably... Yeah, I bet Blackbeard met them at other islands while he was traversing around with the Whitebeard crew. The Whitebeard crew, I'm sure, would stop at other ports of islands that would allow pirates, or maybe they would just sneak onto the islands. And Blackbeard would go out there and maybe go to bars and other places. And he met these guys over the years, and heard rumors about ones he hadn't met yet. Like one of them was that Lafitte was a sheriff and got deposed. So, I mean, he probably looked around for these people in his free time while they were going from island to island, port to port with the Whitebeard crew. So I'm sure they were waiting in the wings when he got the fruit and abandoned the Whitebeard crew. So what was the other thing I missed? There was... let's see, a couple things. Oh, Jinbae. Something I messed up with Jinbae. I thought Jinbae got aged older as well, but actually appeared, I guess he was aged younger in this chapter when Bonnie changed them in order to have the pacifista stop attacking them. So I got that mixed up. When I don't know why. He just looks older to me. I just thought if he'd be a little kid, they would have shown him like tiny, I figured. Not like that. He just looked like he was an older, I thought kind of shriveled looking form. I got that obviously wrong. And let's see. Another thing was... Where was that bit? Oh, something here with Pudding. I didn't realize that someone had said the pudding. Wait, if she's still alive. I think this too was a translation error actually. Let me go check this out. I think pudding said here if mom was still alive in the first version I read. But I'm pretty sure here that the at this point it's implied that pudding. Wait, this is the right? If mama is still alive. Oh, okay, wait. No, this is saying like she thinks they must have told her that Big Mom was defeated. Maybe they hadn't told her yet that it was Law that did it. I was just confused about that. I thought maybe she didn't know. So, no, maybe I'm wrong about that one. Also, I was just looking at this panel with Sachi and Penguin swimming ahead of the submarine and going after the. Yeah, that was my long devil fruit tangent. I know there was something else. What was it now? Yes. So something here I totally missed too with another error and misunderstanding this conversation, and I try to go over this in the the review video. I misunderstood this conversation here at the end with Vegapunk. So I thought this conversation here was Vegapunk 1, the original, talking to Stalka. And it looks like, no, what actually is happening here is that Vegapunk is talking to... Where do they have this? Here with the... hold on a minute, I'm pulling up the number, the ones from the... here we go. Logic Shaka. Yes. So the other chapter here, this last chapter, I thought that... Sorry, my throat is... Sinuses are just driving me nuts today. I thought that Shaka here, the Punk 1, was talking to Vegapunk directly and Vegapunk was telling Shaka, I think my death is imminent. But it looks like this conversation is actually Dragon and Vegapunk talking. But it looks like here then, it's definitely Shaka's mask they are showing. So I think what is happening... Come on. I think what is happening here is this is Shaka talking to Dragon about whatever plans they have going on. So what I'm thinking going on here, my speculation, is that Vegapunk 0, the original, is on ice, basically, out of commission, sleeping even. Perhaps like I said a few weeks ago about that one episode of Ghost in the Shell, where that South American revolutionary hero was locked up in this special tank in Japan because he had been killed or harmed in some way, and he was also like alive but not conscious, maybe like in a vegetable state. So anyways, yeah. So that one too, they were making that story from Ghost in the Shell TV show. The government he was part of, I just think it was supposed to be implied, was the one making these copies of him, making cyborgs that had his consciousness in it. This scene here and understanding what that this is Vegapunk talking to Dragon really implies this more to me, that the original Vegapunk may not be active at the moment, let's just say. And this is probably Stalka pointing out, though, that Vegapunk 0 is probably dying then. Dying too. Unless... Oh, maybe there's something else there. I'm thinking maybe they can't keep his body alive anymore. Maybe something serious happened to it, some kind of bad accident, or experiment accident. Maybe another attempt on his life. What if other cipher poles tried to kill him before? That would be something. Maybe others had tried to kill him, and that's why he's heart injured now. Unless it's just really old age or some kind of another instance of someone have an irreversible, incurable disease like Doctor Chopper's mentor, his first mentor, as well as Whitebeard. So whatever the case is, he talks about his death being imminent. So I think this might be, I think Stalka is the one conveying this message to Dragon. Here, this is Dragon on the other side in these other text boxes talking back to him. When he first says to Dragon, being a genius means I can see my own future. And Dragon asks, what do you mean? Then that's when Shulka Vegapunk says, I suspect my death is imminent. And then Dragon yells at him to stop telling bad jokes. So here Vegapunk says, I want you to hear me out. And that's where he said Dragon, and we knew it was who he was talking to. So Vegapunk here, it's been known for some time that Vegapunk is working with the revolutionaries, which is also why we're thinking what happened with Kuma is part of the a plan by Dragon and Vegapunk. A plan by Dragon and Vegapunk. Though this is making me think the plan may have only been Vegapunk and Kuma's idea to do this. And this is like an ace in this up their sleeve to help Dragon take on the world government, perhaps. The implication here sounds like it's definitely that Vegapunk has something here to tell Dragon before he dies. And so we're going to find something interesting out soon here, probably. More to do with Vegapunk and stuff, and maybe Kuma. It seems like this is what's all going to tie together finally, I think. With Bonnie being here, wanting to go after Kuma. Kuma, for a decade of story now, and for over 2 years now, being in this pacifista, being the first pacifista. This seems like this is about to come to a head here, because this is also the last saga, it seems, of One Piece. We're gonna get something here, I think, with how what Vegapunk and Kuma have been working on. I really feel here that Dragon is not fully aware of what they've been working on, and now we'll find that out in a chapter or two, hopefully. Oh, TV. So, yeah, that's pretty much it with that. So, something's going on with Vegapunk. Just reading over that again. Also, this makes me wonder, now looking at this, if any of the other Vegapunk clones know about this. Are they oblivious to this fact because they're all just, not told everything about what's happening? I'm gonna assume that for now. And also, what else about that? The again, like I mentioned in a previous video, will they, barring being destroyed by Ike Zero, if any of them survive, will they just continue? Or can they continue the Vegapunk clones being living on their own? Are they tethered in some way? If he dies, they die. If they're clones or something like that, I highly doubt it. So if any of them survive this incoming attack on their lives, will they continue the story working on? There's something too. Working on Vegapunk's life's work. Depending on what it is, Devil Fruit research, just Jetsons, futuristic stuff, whatever other things they're working on. I forget what I implied the others were doing. We could be damn sure that if this attack comes and any of them survive, they're not going to be working for want to work for the world government anymore. They're about to get. You can be damn sure that they're not going to want to work for the government anymore and make these seraphims because their government's about to come off of them for partially that probably, or maybe because of if they know something about Uranus. So another thing I just thought of is if any of them survive here, and maybe like this island's going to get blown up too. Maybe the surviving Vegapunks will join up with the Straw Hats briefly, and that could be the point. Tekken keeps bringing it up because he really wants to know about this, and frankly, I'm sure all of us do. What do devil fruits come from? How do they work, etc., etc. Maybe we'll finally. That could be the scenario that could help set us up a point where the Vegapunk, some of the surviving Vegapunks, I'm assuming there's a possibility that some of them will get off by the August Zero, sadly. Hopefully we get to see some of them chatting or what they're like, the remaining ones we haven't seen before that happens, like they're not killed off screen, and we just see August Zero standing over their bodies. But if some of them survive and come with them, hopefully, like if I forgot which one I said it was, but I'm certain one of them is probably the one is focusing on devil fruit research specifically, and I think like Rage is doing the Wrath is doing this Jetson stuff. One of them I was saying is probably doing specifically the Seraphim. So hopefully. Well, maybe if all of them know enough. Maybe if some of them all know a little bit about their own research. Whoever survives will have what we need to discuss with the Straw Hats what what devil fruits are, and also certainly here, going back, we're probably gonna have something here with Shaka. Hopefully, I don't know if they will discuss it. I'm wondering if the Straw Hats here will just be walking in upon Shaka and Dragon's conversation, or once Lilith brings them there, they'll be included anyways. We'll have to see on that one, I guess. Of course, I guess. Why do I keep saying that? We'll have to see on that one. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, oh yeah, that's right. I said before, this could also be the precedent. Which could be the setup, of course. Hopefully, if that's true, that brings Dragon and Luffy together finally as well. Maybe that's it. Maybe the others escape here, and the Straw Hats escape with some of the surviving Vegapunks. If the island's all like destroyed and they have to retreat, and then they'll go and meet Dragon somewhere. He's over there. Is that in the New World? Last we saw him, he's at the island where Ivankov lives. I can't think of the name of it. The one that Sanju's staying on, and maybe they'll rendezvous those somewhere else after retreating. The Straw Hats have to retreat and meet with Dragon somewhere. I like that idea, and that's along the ways where the some devil fruit stuff could be revealed to us through lore. Oh, that's yeah. I wonder if will I guess they'll destroy the whole island. Hopefully, some of these other people can evacuate before they're killed. But I suspect they'll want to get rid of everything. Oh wait, so no. They're not going to probably destroy the. If I read this right, they're not going to be destroying the lab itself. So no. If the Straw Hats have to retreat, that'll only be probably because they're trying to save Vegapunks from being destroyed. These guys are, this orders here from, this must be Kaku saying it? Yeah, Lucci's not talking there. Their orders are not to destroy labs, the stuff in the labs on Egghead Island. They're not going to destroy Egghead Island. They're not going to destroy Egghead Island. They're just going to try and destroy the Vegapunks. So the government definitely only has it out for him for some reason, and not he knows too much about something, I think, or they must have found out. But maybe more likely, much like they already found out about Wakuma, and they found out about Vegapunk's plans, or not plans. They may not know his plans. Hopefully they don't. They probably found out about his ties with the revolutionaries. And they figure this time for him to go because he'll reveal too much about maybe how seraphims are defeated, which is one of the things the government is counting on to help fight pirates. But I still think that's a bit of a stretch. I still think the Vegapunk knows something about Uranus. Maybe was patching it up and maintaining it all these years. That he's been contracted with the government, and they are just worried because of his ties with the revolutionaries. He has probably told them by now, or he will. They're worried he'll tell them too much about Uranus, so he just has to go. But he's such a valuable asset to them that they'll well, that's one thing too. But they'll want to save the lab stuff. But now I just was thinking, why not just capture one of the other? Why couldn't they just capture one of the other clones, Vegapunk clones, and put them in a prison, keep them in confinement in some way, and work out a deal with them like you're still gonna help us because you're a Vegapunk clone. You still have this genius, and we can't like. What are the chances, that they'll get another Vegapunk in any foreseeable future or unforeseen either? So I really think going after all the Vegapunks is kind of a bad move. So it makes me wonder why they wouldn't just want to capture one of them and make them work for them continuously doing the same stuff they're already doing, but somewhere where they don't have free reign to try to communicate with enemies of the government. So that makes me wonder too if they're Gorosei or Im-sama have something up their sleeve, something they have or know, like do they have another prodigy waiting in the wings? Do they have other paperwork and sketches and blueprints and whatnot of Vegapunks that they can just use and keep in some kind of archives until they do find a prodigy like him? Something there seems like they must have something there that they're not worried about losing him anymore, that they have to just cut the ties with him because of his revolutionary ties. So there's something up there. So we'll see about that. And what was that other thing? Oh, well, something else with Kuma. I'm still unconvinced that Kuma is like a seraphim or something. I'm hoping that he's a different race. And one other quick thing. Teching Bruv stuff I hadn't really thought about. When I was talking about special races in my other video, I was just speculating whether Kaido and Big Mom and even like Whitebeard and Blackbeard, of course, are like special races. I'm wondering if, I'm not wondering. Teching Bruv something I hadn't thought about, and that maybe someone like Whitebeard and Big Mom especially are just like descendants of giants, like half giant, giant ancestry on one side of their family or going back. And I just hadn't thought about that. But I find that a little, I guess I could always could be this too. I my initial thoughts of that being is that it doesn't to me account for how, especially when Big Mom, using Big Mom in this case, how freakishly strong she is and nigh invulnerable. So we've seen giants now, and they are very impressive, formidable warriors because they're like, you got 12 plus, what do they start at? 12 meters tall, and they're like, we've seen with Whitebeard taking on that one at Marineford that they're not gonna do very well against, that they're average warriors anyways. We don't know if they probably have some impressive top tier warriors at Elbaf, that they're not gonna stand up to someone like Whitebeard easily. So I'm just so I guess though, if Big Mom's ancestry of a giant, if that's true, that must have been one hell of a giant pedigree that make Big Mom as ferociously powerful as she is, and the same with Whitebeard. But something about that just makes me, with their her near invulnerability. The caveat there was too that maybe there is, because you always can have like someone with special talents or special powers, especially in this fantasy like ideals, that maybe Big Mom just is a descendant of giants who just happens to be born with the right amount of genes to become as freakishly powerful as she did easily from that young age. But the fact that she has that rage too, and this lends me to think, oh, maybe there's something like that too. Something just came to me because there's this conversation about the idea of gods in the One Piece world. Obviously, we met Eneru with proclaiming himself as a god. I was just wondering for a second if it's possible, and I don't think we've had any implication of this. No, probably not. So, well, and it's funny though, because we got devil fruits that are god incarnations, I guess, like Sengoku and Luffy. I was just thinking, what if Big Mom is actually a demigod? That's the term I was looking for. What if there are some kind of god-like beings? Now, maybe they're not gods. I'm going to go with gods in the Greek, Scandinavian sense, where they're near immortal beings, but not truly immortal. They're higher existent entities that are living, but they can live forever, age-wise somehow. And maybe someone like Big Mom is a child of one of those things, a descendant. That's what makes her so freakishly powerful. Maybe that would be really interesting if Oda would introduce the idea of demigods as a new tier of thing. He probably wouldn't want to do that. I think that would really throw a wrench in stuff. But that would be interesting if there was an idea that we could have godly beings who do the things that they do in Greek mythology, hang out with and have children with mortals, and have these children like Big Mom or Kaido. I'm gonna go with Big Mom or Kaido, or that are. I'm not gonna go with Blackbeard yet. I think Blackbeard, when they talk about this special race, this theory with Kuma being a special race, and that stuff I thought before, I think Blackbeard is probably just a different race that we have not seen yet. Oh, that's right. Lunarians were considered like gods too. What if there is like another race that just been staying hidden that are godlike, that have that? With Big Mom, I'm thinking of traits that she has that kind of unique. This is what I'm thinking of specifically, like her anger, her hunger, and what was the other thing? Her near invulnerability. Those three things are really part of what's making me think she's not just a giant, that she's a different race. Some other race that has that Thor like that. What's that word? There's a word with B. Let me pause this and look up that video. That's the term. Oh fuck! What is it? Berserker. That's it. A berserker. I think that's the one I'm looking for. Berserker. Let me look here. The word came to me. Right. Yeah. So Big Mom has that anger she gets in when she's hungry. Reminds me of a berserker, which is an idea come from Norse warriors. A trance-like fury. I'm reading it off of here. To a Wikipedia article, but I mean that's a description fitting. I'm thinking that Big Mom has something like that, where it could be or maybe this will take away the God thing, but I'm thinking like her berserker-like attributes and then vulnerability. This sounds like she would be descendant of something like that, and that's what makes her a little different there. And Kaido too seems to have this invulnerability, and he's got the horns to boot that really make him look different. So, anyways, this was all just me saying that I'm not on board with the half giant thing now, which is something I should have thought about because it's been obvious for a long time how tall they are, the big Whitebeard and Big Mom, that they're giant like. But I guess if I back when we first were seeing about them in after Marineford and when Big Mom got introduced, I would have probably would have thought that if I really sat down like I do here and talk about it. But I guess I just like this idea too because Oda's likes to leave so many mysteries that I really want to have some secret race we haven't heard of too. This is just me kind of conjecturing what I would like, and I'm just trying to use use this evidence to add fuel to my own hype I'm creating internally of what I'd like to see. So if it turns out to be this other stuff, that would be kind of cool, but I would like to see more explained why. Is it just to do with like special defensive armored hockey, the Ryo or whatever that is that something like Big Mom and Kaido learned young to have a higher defensive capabilities? Or is it something more like an innate talent inherited from wherever they're coming from? I'm thinking of that, and I'm thinking the same thing with Blackbeard, that he's got an innate ability which relieves him of worrying about devil fruit consumption the way humans and fishermen and anyone else who eats them has to worry about. So yeah, this is my conjecture, and I won't be. I would like to see explanations for some of that stuff down the line, even if some of my ideas here about the extra hidden races is wrong. So yeah, I think I went on long enough today. I think I got everything I did wrong too at the last chapter. I was trying to think. I thought there might have been one other thing. Come on. Oh yeah, we still don't know if Shachi and them are fishmen or not. We'll have to figure that out later. Oh, the last thing. Oh, hi, Wilder. The last thing I was thinking about too, there was something more abstract here, was that it's interesting about how they talk about this new era coming, and it's funny that they talk to Pudding here about new eras only happen when the old legends are torn down. And it just really seems like an interesting theme that Oda is going for here. Like there's these different pirate eras. So we had the era where Roger and Whitebeard were top dogs, and like Garp and Sengoku were the top marines. And then when Roger died, that was kind of the changeover to the next era because we saw like Crocodile, Moria, and Doflamingo, among others, and probably maybe even Dragon, were there at that execution, and then they started leading the forefront of the next era of like piracy, and now the Revolutionary Army is a thing, and from that point on, Shanks, Big Mom, and Kaido and Whitebeard were still around too, essentially. But I feel like Whitebeard there was like the holdover, and that's really where Big Mom and Kaido and Shanks became the spearhead of the next era. And then when Whitebeard died, and he brought out the One Piece, already though we saw that the supernovas were coming up and becoming a new threat to the world, and now they're here to take on Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and it's interesting here how Oda is going into this new era stuff all the time, where it's like a changeover of the new guard every 30 to 50 years maybe, and I just thought that's very interesting how that's a common theme he's laying out among here, and I would just like to remind these characters that I don't think even if Big Mom isn't dead and she still comes back and she's not a Yonko, I still think that doesn't really put them down for the count. She could still maybe Big Mom will turn over a new leaf from this. Because the fact that Oda brought her back as brought her memory back as a child, I feel like he was trying to go for some character growth with that. Now I can see what it could be. Maybe Big Mom, because her ideals of what she wants to achieve are really pure deep down. She wants to have equality, right, among all the races, but she's so cutthroat. She doesn't, her ends justify the means, or she's killed children of her she really doesn't care about. She doesn't care about, she went and hired a researcher, Caesar Clown, to experiment to make people giant like her. Actually, that's interesting too. Why didn't it just, oh, there's something there. How come Caesar never thought about? Didn't Caesar never think about doing like gene splicing and maybe making a giant's blood mixed with kids, and that could have made the kids grow big instead? Something like that. Some kind of mutation stuff. I mean, I wonder what Caesar Clown tried there. Anyways, Big Mom. Hopefully, Big Mom. This defeat, I would think, would be great to her to turn over a new leaf, a starting point where she'll revert back that childish understanding of thinking and do away with her self she became as an adult and just go back to her land and really turn it into a normal paradise without having to be a pirate place. That place is full of candies and stuff. She should just be like, turn that into a place where they manufacture and can sell candies and other confectionaries to the rest of the world. She could turn it into a prosperous place, I think, without having to be piracy. I think that would be a better route for her to go than the one she is with being queen of the pirates and subverting or subjugating the rest of the world. So, what was I getting at? Oh, Legends. That Legends, even if these guys go away down, I still don't see how I still can see them being a threat, like at the very least in this final arc. I don't think Big Mom and Kaido are done. I think they're going to come back for one last shot to get the One Piece. Oh yeah, what was that other thing? So yeah, one last thing was Caesar Clown. I just said, why didn't Caesar Clown, what did I say that in the other video? I did that a few videos ago. What if cloning is possible here? Well, it is possible because Judge is doing it. What if Vegapunk or Judge or somebody could do gene splicing with giant's blood to make seraphims or other types of clones that were huge? That would create an impressive army too to go with that other stuff I've been talking about. All right. Anyways, I'm going to end the video now. I think I made enough. Yeah.